how has not only the Unisys University team adapted to this, but how have the business units adapted to this in terms of the change in focus and the different skills that you're trying to improve?
So around 2015, we had a change in leadership. We have a new CEO. And so obviously comes with that new change in leadership and some changes in structuring of the organization. We moved much more towards a vertical structure with a focus in commercial and financial services and digital government. And during that time, the last thing on most people's mind is really training, because you're still trying to figure out what skills you need, which people are going to be in which roles, and so on. And so, a learning organization really needs to just be with the business as they're going through this and help them to understand what are the skills that they're going to be needing in the future. They may not know what training they need at this point because they don't understand the gaps. They really just need to understand where they're going. And so I challenged my team to really develop a consulting mindset. So it was less about building training or delivering training, but it was more about building a relationship with the business. And so for that first year, it was quite challenging to a team of learning consultants now who had not done that. And so, hats off to them. They did a fantastic job building those relationships. And what that meant was that they got a really strong understanding of the business unit that they were part of. Right. They developed this relationship with the leader of that service line or that business unit. So when we got to the end of that year and the dust had settled, they were now seen as part of the leadership group in each of the business units and each of the service lines. And so they were in a much stronger role to now provide advice and guidance around the training that now needed to come because the gap analysis was now ready to be done. And so, I saw my team's skills evolve. We did some training internally to try and develop those skills. I saw them evolve, but it was interesting to see just their confidence, the respect that Unisys University got back, which perhaps, had gotten a little bit lost over the years because we just built anything for anybody who squealed. So we got that respect back, and I think we got a much closer alignment with the business, which meant that what we built now was linked to the strategy. Whatever training we designed or we delivered in the business was supported by the leadership, and that has made a huge difference to the adoption of learning at Unisys.
So that talks to any organization in any large corporate structure that is viewed as a service center or a cost center, and they're a pain in the butt. Mm-hmm. If they take the view of trying to understand the business and what their needs are, which is what you've done, is they become part of the leadership team of that business, as opposed to, that's the training organization. Yes. And so you built the foundation to really build upon and improve the value of Unisys University.
Correct. And it was also, it was learning to speak their language, because I think so often learning professionals get involved almost in their own language. Right. And I remember sometimes, one of the consultants saying to me, Emma, I struggle because they can't explain what their learning outcome is. And, the coaching I provided was around, go back and ask them what they need to know at the end of the training that they don't know at the beginning. Yeah, right. It's the same thing. Right. But now it's simpler terms, and you're not scaring them with our language.
So it's the same thing in IT. Talk the language of the business. Don't talk the language of your competency. So when you start talking in learning lingo, like what are the learning objectives, yes, as opposed to what are the outcomes that you want people to take away to improve the value in their job? It's the same thing. Yes. It's connecting the dots.
It's connecting the dots in their language.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh,
it's also building a respect, because when you understand the business well enough to be able to advise what knowledge they need, and to you you get the right, you earn the right,
Right.
to push back
Right.
when they ask for things that perhaps aren't going to deliver the learning outcomes that they need to have. And that was also part of the change that I saw, was a learning team that was now confident enough to push back when they were asked to do things that perhaps weren't going to add value.